Hey there, David Lee here, Texas Horns Football. Thought it'd be cool to compile some subscriber comments from our 2019 Longhorns position by position breakdowns and previews. So, going to take a look at 7 subscriber comments and then kind of give my thoughts on those. Definitely leave your thoughts and comments down below. And we'll do this from time to time because I definitely want to include the subscribers in the content of this channel. I don't want to be just a talking head, so we definitely appreciate your cooperation. Give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Welcome. All right, so let's jump in. Selected 7 comments that I thought were pretty good, made some good points, and tried to select some, from different positions. So we'll just kind of look at them and then throw out some comments and then let us know what you guys think. So Steve says, talking about BJ Foster, BJ is a killer, reminds me of Taylor Mays. He forces the ball out with perfect timing on the hit. That's pretty high praise there, comparing BJ's skills to Taylor Mays. I just remember Taylor Mays being one of the biggest hitters really in college and his time in the NFL. So, but yeah, definitely BJ Foster is certainly a hitter type of safety. Texas is going to use him to come up and play the run, and if he does primarily play that 5th defensive back position, you can kind of put him, wherever needed, depending on how that offense lines up. I think he's definitely a bigger hitter than Caleb Stearns and even Brandon Jones, where Caleb Stearns is more of a cover safety and more likely, to pick the ball off. I think he's got a better nose for the ball. And Brandon Jones is kind of more of your all-around safety. He has fantastic closing speed, can even return kicks, so maybe all-around better athlete. But yeah, BJ is definitely a big hitter. We saw that. I think he had a real big hit against USC last year. So definitely looking for him to step up in his 2nd season as a true sophomore. So a lot of confidence, obviously, back there in that last line of defense. And then Sanif talking about Keandre Colburn on the defensive line. I see Colburn taking over the nose tackle position by start of the first game, if not midseason. I am leaning, agree. I'm leaning more and more toward Colburn taking over at nose tackle very early. I think we're going to see a lot of him in week 1 against Louisiana Tech. And given some of the quotes that Todd Orlando has come out and said, really even just in the past couple weeks, Orlando is obviously really high on Colburn coming in as a freshman. So yeah, I definitely think we're going to see him and Gerald Wilbon, rotate some, but pretty quickly it could be Colburn's position. Absolutely agree. But, that nose tackle position, it's going to help to have 2 guys who you're confident in that you can rotate and just get some fresh bodies in there. It's a position that needs to stuff the run with the center and the guard. But if Colburn can be a guy who can get pressure into the backfield from the middle of the field, that's going to be awesome. Whether it's a bull rush or if we find out he's got some more moves, for a big guy. But yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see. So going to be really fun to see if we get a lot of production out of a freshman. And then Chris Skipper talking about Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson is for real. That said, he's new to the Big 12, big-time stuff. If he can learn the scheme and the physical part, and the instinct is there, I am really, really high on Caleb Johnson right now. He's coming over from junior college, and yeah, totally agree. We don't know what he can do against Big 12 offenses. Projecting Caleb Johnson to maybe even take over that MAC linebacker position that's right there in the middle. So, he looks fantastic on some of the film that we've seen him. Yes, everybody looks good on their highlights, but you can tell the guys who, he's great at one-on-one tackling. He's great at closing the distance fast.
he does look like he has fantastic instincts, just knowing when to attack and even when to be patient. Sometimes it does help to take a second or two and just keep that ball carrier in front of you, knowing that your other guys are closing on the ball as well. He looks like he knows how to do that. So yeah, really high on him. And then obviously, with the linebacker position really being up in the air, losing Gary Johnson and Anthony Wheeler. I'm super high on Caleb Johnson, and just to see not only how much snaps he gets, but how quickly can he adapt to covering those Big 12 offenses. So yeah, he's new, but yeah, absolutely agree. Looks like those instincts are there, and he just looks like he just plays pissed off. So he's gonna be really fun to watch. I am Kid. How do you feel about Texas signing 2 QBs in the next year's cycle, and will Hudson Card be the guy in 2021? The backup QBs right now, you've got a true freshman and you've got a redshirt freshman. I really like Casey Thompson in his overall athleticism and his overall ability. I think we're going to see Casey Thompson play some this year just to mix it up a little bit. It would be really cool to see Casey Thompson and Jordan Whittington and Keontae Ingram back there on a few plays. And obviously we know Sam is the type that can get dinged up. We've seen that. We saw it in 2017. We saw it last year. But I Am Kid mentions the 2 QBs for the 2020 class, Hudson Card, and then, you've got the quarterback out of Duncanville too. And, I from what I've seen, I think Hudson Card is your next quarterback of the Longhorns. Now, that doesn't mean that, maybe Casey Thompson doesn't, get a lot of chances, but I think, I don't know, it's you've got Sam for this year and next year, but if you made me pick, I would definitely say Hudson Card is likely your next quarterback. But we've already seen Cameron Rising leave, so that's not uncommon. We've seen that happen before, so that definitely could happen over the next year or two. See one of these guys leave, but yeah, definitely excited about those young QBs. Dustin says there were a few plays last season. If he's talking about Keontae Ingram here, last season, if he would have been patient and followed his blocks, he would have broke 50-yard plays. To me, his biggest flaw was letting blocks develop. I love the kid and glad he's there. I think he will do great things for us. Yeah. I read a quote that Tom Herman said in his press conference at Big 12 Media Days about how Keontae Ingram not only has put on about 15 to 20 pounds of muscle over the offseason, but also how he is being more patient. And if he said, like, if a 4-yard play is there and he can get it, that he needs to just take it. So yeah, for a young running back, there is absolutely a learning curve for making sure that you're patient and trusting the blocks and trusting the blocking scheme. That can be a pulling guard or tackle, that can be a scoop block, with the linebacker, double teams. And sometimes it does take some time to build a rhythm with the offensive line and the running back, because the offensive line also needs to get used to how that running back hits a hole. And that can make a difference. And sometimes that just takes time. But absolutely, great point. And, Ingram, I think, is that type of guy. He has enough top-end speed, but he also has the balance and the just overall body control to make it through traffic. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be something interesting to watch that I think probably goes overlooked. So that's why I thought it was a good comment by Dustin there about Ingram really just kind of growing up as a runner and trusting his blocks. All right, and then this one here by Chris, another one by Chris. I thought this was a good point, or kind of a hot sports opinion. He said that Devin Duvernay is the best receiver on the team and the only one that will be a legit NFL player. The problem at Texas is Sam doesn't see him, and when he does, tends to overthrow him. I definitely think Devin Duvernay is one of the most underrated players on the team, and both Sam Ehlinger and Colin Johnson at Big 12 Media Days called out Duvernay is one of the most overlooked players on the team, but one of the absolute best all-around athletes. He's going into his senior year at that Z position, and we have seen Sam overthrow Devin downfield a few times, but Devin is absolutely one of the fastest players on the team. I don't agree that he is the only one that will be a legit NFL player. If Devin gets drafted, I think it's going to be real late rounds. But, I absolutely think Colin projects better in the NFL than Devin. Devin, I just don't really see Devin as a really precise, fast twitch route runner, which that's kind of the shorter NFL receiver needs to be. I definitely think he's underrated. Hopefully Sam gets his timing down with Devin going downfield. Maybe Sam, thinks kind of mistimes Devin's speed a little bit. We have seen them hit downfield for a touchdown before. So, going to be interesting to see how they use his speed along with Colin Johnson on the side. And then just the development that Sam has with Devin and how he is comfortable with those, kind of two different players, because Colin's the type of guy where you can just throw it up and let him grab it, especially along there on the sidelines. Devin's not necessarily the type of guy that's going to out-body defenders, so that's going to be interesting to see as well. All right, last one here by Ben Ivy the fifth, or maybe it's just Ben Ivy V. But he says, I'm super excited for Malcolm Epps. This might not be his year, but next year he could replace Collins, seeing he is 6'7". Yeah, Malcolm Epps really kind of came in as a tight end, but has kind of shifted over to receiver and projects to likely back up Colin at his position, and looking at Brennan Eagles likely backing up Devin at that Z position. I think Epps might be a decent answer for the H receiver to replace LJ. I think he plays more like LJ did. LJ, I think, played that position a little bit more like a tight end, and that position is kind of that hybrid receiver, running back / tight end there in the slot. So, I think for now it's Joshua Moore, but I think Epps might, I don't know what the coaches are thinking in terms of how they want to use him. I think in the spring game, it looked like they were wanting to use him more in Collins' position for some quick throws to the sideline. We kind of saw Sam misthrow to Epps a couple times, especially early in the game. But, he's definitely that big body type of receiver who can, just kind of out-body people, kind of like post up in basketball or something. But yeah, definitely excited about him. He's kind of another one of those, obviously just kind of fantastic athletes, but the receiver group is so deep that it's really going to be hard to get these guys enough looks, because there's just not a lot to go around. Colin and Devin are going to start. Joshua Moore is going to get a decent amount of looks. They're going to want to work in Jake Smith some. And then Malcolm Epps is still a redshirt freshman. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see. But awesome comments, guys. Leave your comments about these comments. We'll try to do this from time to time. Definitely want to involve the subscribers in the content on this channel. I don't want to just be a talking head. So, we really appreciate your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video out, and then check us out on Facebook at Texas Horns Football. Again, we have over 50,000 Longhorns fans on there, so come chat with us, get to know us, and we'll see you on the next video.